choices, just like a carpet store, only better.
Because right now you get 2 for $1, plus no payments or interest for a year.
Schedule online at lunacarpet.com or call now and save.
773-202 Luna.
The world is on the brink of disaster.
Next on Ebert and Roeper, some of the most anticipated movies of the year. From the makers of South Park, it's Team America, World Police.
Please don't touch the guillotine.
Robin Williams and Mira Sorvino star in The Final Cut.
And Annette Bening in Being Julia.
Celebrating 30 years of movie reviews on television.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this away. Well, I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, 'cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Jamie Foxx stars as the late, great, legendary Ray Charles in Ray. I'm Roger Ebert.
And I'm Richard Roeper. Our first movie is Ray. It opens in 2 weeks. This is an early review. Now, Jamie Foxx is a funny guy and a gifted mimic who flashed his dramatic potential in Any Given Sunday and Collateral earlier this year. Now he's elevated to A-list status with an astonishingly rich performance as the late Ray Charles. Foxx captures all the familiar Ray Charles physical tics and speech patterns, but this isn't just an impersonation.
Baby, when I walk out that door, I walk out alone in the dark. I'm trying to do something that ain't nobody ever done in music and business. But I can't do it if I'm alone everywhere I go. I don't want to be alone here, B. Not in my own home.
That's Kerry Washington in a searing performance as Ray's long-suffering wife. For decades, Charles battled twin addictions to drugs and to women.
From now on, it's strictly business between you and me.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Keep that anger. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more.
That's actually one of the few scenes that feels forced. No doubt Charles mined his personal life for material, but I doubt it was that hokey. But many of the musical numbers soar as when Ray unveils one of his signature hits.
She gonna rip the diamond ring. She knows how to shake that thing down.
Jamie Foxx is probably the early frontrunner for Best Actor, and it is a terrific performance, but I do want to point out that the voice we're hearing on all those songs belongs not to Foxx, but to Ray Charles. This is an unflinching but deeply respectful look at one of the seminal musical artists of the 20th century with killer songs, a great period feel for the 50s and 60s, and outstanding acting, most notably from Foxx and from Kerry Washington. So, big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up for me, too. And you know, the fascinating thing is that today we think of Ray Charles primarily as a performer, and we know his hit songs.
Right.
This movie makes it clear how important he was historically.
Right.
He put together rhythm and blues and gospel and basically created soul music. He was the first black artist to refuse to perform at a Jim Crow concert with a segregated audience, and that brought an end to that. And then he shocked all of his fans by going over to country and recording country music and saying, I can do any kind of music I want to. And that was his spirit, and this movie really captures it.
Also, the fact that we see the relationship he has with various music executives, and for once, real-life characters who are portrayed here are not the villains. I mean, Ray Charles was a real savvy businessman. In fact, I think sometimes he sacrificed personal friendships and relationships in pursuit of even better record deals. But it's nice to see that some white New York executives actually believed in the guy and didn't take advantage of him, as happened with so many artists in the 50s and 60s.
This movie doesn't follow the usual predictable patterns of biopics like this, and Ray Charles was alive during most of the preparation of the film and the shooting of the film, and participated in it and didn't try to cover up his flaws or change the story.
You know, one of the things about Jamie Foxx's performance as Ray Charles is one of the most photographed and seen and well-known performers of the last century. There's so much footage of him. We know exactly what he sounded like when he spoke. We know, and Jamie Foxx gets that just perfect.
He does. He's got it right. This may be the only place on television that you're going to hear about our next movie, and that's an excellent reason to be watching this show. The movie is Primer, and it will probably drive some people nuts, but I thought it was fascinating. At its most basic level, it tells the story of some brainy young tech heads who are looking for venture capital and invent something, but they don't understand quite how it works or what it does.
Is this normal? I don't know. I'm turning it off. Wait. No, it's not my camera. I'm not buying it. Okay, I didn't do that.
Those are David Sullivan and the movie's writer-director, Shane Carruth. They seem to have amazingly invented a time machine, and they hide it in a storage locker room and experiment with short-term time travel.
Your ear's bleeding, man.
give me that. I got it. Is that normal? This isn't normal.
For the machine?
No, for people. You think it's the machine?
I love the way the movie sneaks up on the time travel aspect. This is not a science fiction thriller, but more of a showdown between intelligence and greed. The movie is ingenious and fascinating and maddening, and I love the audacity with which it explores the paradoxes of time. Thumbs up.
Thumbs down for me. I agree with some of the adjectives there. Maddening, drives me nuts was a description you used at one point. It drove me crazy, Roger. The first thing Shane Carruth should have done as a director was fire himself as an actor, because I think he gives a terrible performance. Everybody talks in this kind of very natural, mumbling, pseudo-Altman-esque way. I couldn't even understand what they were talking about.
Oh, I could understand every word anyway.
Well, and you know what? And I love to be challenged, and I love time travel stories. But Roger, about halfway through this, I just gave up on it. I tried to give him every benefit of the doubt, because I think obviously Carruth has a big brain and some big ideas, but this movie makes no sense. They just throw stuff out there.
Actually, I think it does make sense, but it's not really important that it makes sense, because what he's really trying to do is capture this culture of guys who work all day in the office, and then they work all night in the garage, and they're inventing something. It's like the people who made the first computers. They're going to make millions of this work. The way that they figure out that their machine has traveled through time, and the way they use jargon that means something to them, and we understand that we don't have to know what they're talking about in order to figure out what the meaning is.
The first half of the movie.
That's fascinating.
You're describing the first half of the movie, which I found fascinating, and then from that point on, as a story, I think it collapses completely.
I'll tell you what, if you're watching the show, you saw the clips, you probably know right now if you want to see this movie or not. Some people are going to want to, and some people...
Call me first if you're thinking about it.
Drive them nuts. Okay.
All right, next is Being Julia. This is yet another movie about actors and acting and the acting life, and aren't we lucky to have actors in the world? Annette Bening sinks her teeth into the kind of role Joan Crawford would have loved. She plays Julia Lambert, a bundle of ego and narcissism. She's the reigning star of the London stage in the late 30s. But Julia is in her mid-40s, and she's keenly aware of the fact that her career is well into its second act. Jeremy Irons is her husband, Michael, who produces her plays and nurses her ego.
I'm the only one who takes it seriously, Michael. You know that. All you do is count the money and think it's a bloody great lark. Take the play off.
But we'll lose a fortune. Our partner won't like it.
To hell with Dolly!
Enter a young American named Tom, played by Sean Evans. He's transparently ambitious, yet we're supposed to believe that Julia would fall like a schoolgirl for his eager horniness. Lucy Punch plays Avis, a truly awful actress who inexplicably captures the fancy of Tom and Michael. Avis thinks she's landed a star-making role in a new play, but on opening night, Julia upstages her in a decidedly unsubtle fashion. That's not clever, it's just loutish behavior. We also get needlessly distracting subplots like Julia's platonic relationship with a man who has to inform her he's gay. You think that would have come up once or twice in the decades they've known each other. Being Julia is stylish and intermittently amusing, but at its core, it's just empty, so thumbs down for me.
Marginal thumbs down for me, too, although I have a lot of affection for some of the things in the movie. It's sort of like an All About Eve kind of situation with the older actress and her younger rival. The director is István Szabó, a great Hungarian director who made Mephisto, one of the best movies ever made about an actor. This one seems to be more mainstream, like a Hollywood melodrama from the 40s, and it's kind of unconvincing when she does that stuff on stage. You know, on stage live, in front of an audience on opening night, you can't really improvise that well and count on everybody else to go along with you.
Exactly.
So it loses its reality.
And we build so much to that big climactic scene, and there's costume changes, and she's moving the stage directions and everything. And of course, it would just collapse under its own weight within 30 seconds, and instead, everybody in the audience finds it really funny, and we're sitting there going, no, this really just makes us find her a loathsome character. And I think at some point, you have to believe in Julia and care about her.
It would have been better if Julia had found some little way to humiliate her rival and make her do something embarrassing on the stage, and then continued on instead of improvising basically the whole last act.
And there's just, I think there's just too much underlying cruelty in too many of the characters.
When we come back, Robin Williams plays it straight in the final cut.
Hot Pockets is going fruity. Hot Pockets brand fruit pastries are loaded with real fruit filling. In fact, 50% more fruit filling than the leading toaster pastries. Delicious fruit pastries from
Hot Pockets.
Now,
No. No.
Yes, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles. Flight to Denver.
No.
LA?
No.
Fresno?
Where?
Fresno. I'll fly out Wednesday.
That's gonna be a no.
Thursday?
All blacked out.
I'll take the red eye.
No. 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 How about Friday?
Sure.
No.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. Fly any airline anytime with no blackout dates. Capital One No Hassle Rewards.
I'm calling Capital One.
No. Oh, no. Hey, what's in your wallet?
My name is Michelle. Can I take your order? I'm going to school to be a history teacher. In the meantime, I'm looking for a waitressing job. I just love to talk to people. I've helped customers name their cats before. I usually don't say is everything okay, because okay is like not the greatest word. You can find me on Monster Track. Have you made your decision yet, or would you like more time?
York's new Affinity heat pump and furnace systems are sleek, quiet, and efficient.
Jet black.
And they come in colors as distinctive as you are.
Stone.
Because people like color.
Champagne.
The new Affinity series from York. Get up to $1,500 cash back, or special financing, or extended warranties on select products.
Call today in the north and northwest suburban area, 72 degrees. In the northern suburban area, all temp.
Robin Williams downshifts into one of his introverted characters for The Final Cut, a thought-provoking sci-fi drama about how we want to be remembered after death. In an unspecified alternative timeline that's kind of like the present, people can have chips implanted in their brains to record everything that they see and hear. And then after their death, a cutter, played by Williams, edits those files into a rememory for his families and friends. The cutter learns and hides a lot of secrets.
I want to thank all of you. This is the best birthday ever.
Oh, how can you handle it, Ellen? People stealing from each other, manipulating each other. The absurdity.
I can't talk. I'm working.
Mira Sorvino plays the sometime girlfriend who never really feels she understands the cutter.
The biggest part of you has always been off limits to me. I mean, you get to see life upon life. Most of us get only one, if that.
The plot of The Final Cut involves a rich man with a dangerous secret and dangerous enemies, but I didn't find that nearly as interesting as the way Williams evokes his quiet technician who spends his days and nights locked up in a room, seeing and hearing through the eyes and ears of strangers.
Thumbs up for you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it thumbs up as well, Roger. And I like that you touched on the fact that it just seems to exist in a modern day world, but there's this one technological leap that allows people to see entire lives, because too many of these futuristic movies, they get bogged down in costumes and cars and furniture and just look silly. And you're so right about Robin Williams' performance. And this is sort of a dark take on, remember Defending Your Life, the Albert Brooks film, where at the end of your life, they review the, let's go to the tapes and let's see what really happened. And here your entire life is on, so to speak, a videotape.
There's also that Japanese film Afterlife by Koreeda, where people edit a movie about their life in the last...
And I love that as a dramatic setup here.
What's interesting here is the way the screenplay deals with the implications of the fact that some people may have this chip in their minds, because it's like if somebody is wearing a wire or a conversation is being recorded, what do you say? Well, what would it mean to you if you knew that everything you did and said was going to be recorded? Would it keep you from ever becoming yourself?
And that's one of the things they touch on here. And it's nice to see Mira Sorvino, who's sort of wobbled about since winning the Oscar about 10 years ago. She's very good in this film.
Yes, she is.
Okay, every once in a great while, there's a film that's so faithful to its period, its setting, and its characters that you feel as if you're in the room with them. Vera Drake is that kind of movie. Mike Leigh's devastatingly effective work plunges us into working-class post-war London in 1950. Imelda Staunton is amazing as Vera, the kind of woman who spends her entire life doing for others, whether she's tending to her family, looking after the neighbors, or fixing up her daughter with a lonely man. Phil Davis plays her husband, Stan.
What'd she say?
She said yes.
Of course you can.
You sure?
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Vera, Ethel, you know, he's just asked me. I'm so pleased.
Once we're all settled in with Vera and all the people in her life, Leigh hits us with a bombshell. Vera's volunteer work includes illegally inducing abortions for young women, most of them very poor and scared to death.
That's not what I do, dear. That's what you call it, but they need help.
Who else they're going to turn to? They got no one. I help them out.
She's been moving around in a very tough world for about 50 years, and she knows what she's doing is a serious crime, yet she seems utterly shocked that the police would arrive at her door one day. But Staunton's deeply moving performance ultimately convinced me that Vera is a martyr who is so focused on alleviating the suffering and loneliness of others that she doesn't have the time or the energy to really think about personal consequences. It's great acting. Thumbs up.
This is one of the best movies of the year, and this performance is astonishing and certainly deserves an Oscar nomination. And you know, what's interesting is that Lee also shows a rich girl who gets pregnant and wants an abortion, and she's able to go to a psychiatrist who determines that she might be suicidal, and so he writes a prescription. She goes to a special private clinic and has a perfectly legal abortion, which is available if you're rich, if you have 100 pounds. But if you only have 2 pounds, then you have to go to Vera Drake. And I think that's the reality of abortion, always has been.
I think it's absolutely...
Basically, laws against abortion are targeted at poor people.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, and I think this film is absolutely authentic in depicting what I'm sure there was a real-life type, more than one type of the Vera Drake character in 1950.
You said something that really rang a bell with me. You said you feel like you're in the room with that family, and I did. The way that he captures the reality of the family sitting around that little table in that little room, and then the new prospective son-in-law comes in, and there's the brother and his stuck-up wife, and then they're waiting, and they can't understand why the police have come to take the mother away. I felt as if I were waiting right there in the room with them.
It really is. It's done so perfectly. You know, I mean, the casting is perfect. The sets are perfect. The feel for it, the dialogue, the script is tremendous as well.
Coming up next, it's Weapons of Mass Disgusting in Team America World Police.
This is a dangerous drug alert.
Hello, I'm Terry Crouppen from the law firm of Brown & Crouppen. My law firm fights giant drug companies that make drugs that hurt people. Here's a drug we're tracking right now. Vioxx, a widely used arthritis and pain medication, has suddenly been taken off the market worldwide. Vioxx has been linked to heart attacks, strokes, and blood clots. Remember, we're Brown & Crouppen. We fight giant drug companies that make drugs that hurt people. Call Brown & Crouppen for free at 1-800-536-HELP.
Versatility has made Buick Rendezvous an American icon. Rendezvous for 2005 has arrived. A brilliant blend of Buick's great ride with an ingenious use of space, SUV capabilities, and amazing 26 miles per gallon highway. Lease the well-equipped Rendezvous CX for around $259 a month. Call for residency restrictions and details. Rendezvous for 2005, $259 a month is at your Buick dealer.
It's the most joyous holiday musical ever staged. TV legend Richard Chamberlain stars in Scrooge with magical effects by Harry Potter's Paul Keefe, the spectacular singing and dancing adaptation of Charles Dickens' beloved classic, A Christmas Carol.
I'm Richard Chamberlain. Order your tickets for Scrooge today, and your loved ones will say...
A Dickens of a great family musical.
Playing October 26th and November 7th. Call 312-902-1400 now.
Ebert and Roeper's Thumbs Up video is brought to you by Nestle Raisinets. At the movies or at home, Raisinets.
Hans Briggs? Oh, no! Oh, hello. Great to see you again, Hans.
Hans Blix, the UN arms inspector, has a showdown with the North Korean leader Kim Jong-il in Team America World Police. This is the new movie by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who gave the world South Park. And this time, they used puppets to satirize the war on terrorism.
I got him.
They make special targets out of actors who are political activists, including Sean Penn, who has written an angry letter to Stone and Parker about their opinion that you don't necessarily have to vote.
Last year, I went to Iraq. Before Team America showed up, it was a happy place. They had flowery meadows and rainbow skies and rivers made of chocolate where the children danced and laughed and played with gumdrop smiles.
The movie is neither for nor against the war on terrorism and never even mentions the White House. It's more of a smart-ass exercise in making fun of anyone who takes the world situation seriously. Their weapon is not satire, not irony, but nihilism. Anyone who cares is a fool. That is not a useful message, but more to the point, in this case, it's not a funny one.
Oh, I think it's funny enough to recommend, Roger. I like it more as a satire of every loud, over-the-top, action-adventure, thriller epic of the last 20 years than as a political satire. Because you're right, it just bludgeons all its targets, and that gets old pretty fast. But I love the way it makes fun of all those, you know, movies like Armageddon and things like that, where you get the certain characters that are all, you know, cliche. You know, they even have a montage that's called a montage. You need a montage right now.
You know,
I thought that was pretty clever.
The problem, though, here is that terrorism, I don't know, somehow it can't be dismissed this casually as just fodder for a puppet show, at least not in my mind.
I think everything is fodder for satire, even terrorism.
But this isn't satire.
So,
this isn't satire.
Well,
this movie basically says if you care about anything, you're a fool.
I don't think it says if you care about anything, you're a fool. I think it has some fun with some Hollywood actors who, quite frankly, can take it. You know what I mean? Making fun of Alec Baldwin and Sean Penn, they'll be okay. So I don't mind that it targets
Baldwin and Sean
them.
Penn are not the problem.
Well, I'm not saying they're the problem. I'm saying they're the targets, if you will, of this film. And they take, you know, there's some pretty good laughs here. I laughed out loud several times. And it's really probably the best R-rated puppet movie I've ever seen.
That's true. Yes,
okay,
it's the
thank you. I got
the
you
only one in that category.
Okay, one movie we both like a lot is now available on a 2-disc special edition, and it's my thumbs up video pick this week. The Shawshank Redemption was a box office disappointment in 1994, but it's a huge favorite on video and cable.
Get busy living, or get busy dying.
Now comes a special 2-disc 10-year anniversary DVD with a strikingly clear transfer and, of course, loads of extras, including a new interview by Charlie Rose and 2 documentaries.
And somehow it seeped into the culture, and somehow it seeped into people's hearts.
I've seen Shawshank at least a half-dozen times, and it always yields new insight. Frank Darabont's interpretation of Stephen King's original story is brilliant, and of course Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins are great, but the film also benefits from the supporting work of Bob Gunton as the warden and Clancy Brown as a sadistic guard.
And this is the movie the people found, because it was rejected at the box office. A lot of critics didn't like it that much, and then somehow, because of home video, it began to pick up steam until today it is considered to be a classic. The Shawshank Redemption 2-disc special edition is available in stores right now.
And we'll be back to recap this week's show right after this.
If you like scents that are not too bold or not too heavy, you'll love the lightest scent in the Bounce family. Fresh linen scent from Bounce.
Are the brake pads and shoes really guaranteed for as long as I own my car?
Yes.
What if I need additional work?
We'll explain it all before we do anything.
In a written estimate?
Yes.
Could you read that last answer back for me, please?
Yes.
Visit Midas now and get brake pads or shoes for just $39.95 plus installation. We'll provide a written estimate for installation and fully explain any additional work needed. For mechanics known for their work and their word,
Trust the Midas touch.
My job is to recruit the most talented folks for Children's Hospital. I am hiring anywhere from food service worker, groundskeeper, radiology techs, social workers, nurses, of course. You can find our jobs on Monster. We're always hiring.
Monopoly Best Chance game at McDonald's is back. I peel, I win, because all Best Buy game pieces are winners. Now it's your turn to celebrate.
That was a scene from Shall We Dance, starring Jennifer Lopez and Richard Gere. We reviewed it on last week's show. I gave it thumbs up. Richard gave it thumbs down. It opens this week.
Yeah, and the commercials for that movie give away the entire film. Now recapping the rest of this week's movies. 2 thumbs up for Ray. It opens in 2 weeks. We split on Primer. 2 thumbs down for Being Julia. 2 thumbs up for Final Cut. 2 thumbs way up for Vera Drake. And we split once again on Team America, World Police.
Next week, we'll be back with reviews of Jude Law and Alfie and Sarah Michelle Gellar in The Grudge.
Visit our website at ebertandroeper.tv or at movies.com.
Yes, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles for a free flight.
Let me check with my supervisor.
Oh, no.
I'm getting a no.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. Fly any airline with no blackout dates.
Hey, what's in your wallet?
Presenting the Nissan Quest,
a revolutionary minivan featuring 5 Skyview windows, front and side impact 5-star safety rating, supplemental side impact curtain airbags, and fold-away second and third row seats. Moms have changed. Shouldn't the minivan?
If you like scents that are not too bold or not too heavy, you'll love the lightest scent in the Bounce family. Fresh linen scent from Bounce.
You're getting it down. You're tackling it. Oh yeah, you're getting potty trained. You've got new Feel and Learn from Pampers, the only training pant with a special liner that lets you feel when you're wet to help you learn when it's time to go potty. You're the man. New Feel and Learn for boys and girls from Pampers.
At Subaru, we have always believed in the superior performance of all-wheel drive. Now it's time to make believers out of you. Announcing the Subaru Drive and Believe event with no first payment, no down payment, and no security deposit on lease offers as low as $189 a month on Impreza, $249 a month on Forester, and $259 a month on Legacy.
I believe.
Hurry in. Sign and drive lease offers end November 1st.
Who are you?
A friend.
Christopher Reeve gave wonderful performances in Superman and Street Smart and The Bostonians and Somewhere in Time, but his greatest performance was as a courageous advocate for spinal cell research after he had an accident and was paralyzed from the neck down. He was a wonderful inspiration.
You know, when people talk about his career, of course, Superman is the most famous role. And, you know, it was a real tough thing because at the time, I don't think superhero movies were taken seriously. And we believed him as that comic book character.
That was the first of the new wave of superhero movies. Remember, you can hear all our recent reviews at ebernandroeper.tv or at movies.com. You can read Richard's column at suntimes.com and read every review I've ever written at rogerebert.com. We'll leave you now with a look at movies in theaters, and until next week, the balcony is closed.
2 thumbs up for Friday Night Lights, 2 thumbs way down for Hilary Duff and Raise Your Voice, and 2 more thumbs down for Taxi.
You know, Queen Latifah ought to find movies that really use her talent instead of just putting her in ordinary vehicles.
And if people are going to take the trouble to go to movies and spend their money, don't go see Taxi.
Yeah.
There's so much better fare out there. Get it better fare.
Nothing's more versatile than OxyClean for attacking over 101 stains around your house. Look for OxyClean online or in retail stores everywhere.
We're so sure you'll love Feline Pine cat litter. We'll give you your first bag free. Go to felinepine.com for details. Feline Pine, the healthy cat litter, perfected by nature.
A great dentist can change your life. So don't put it off. Call 1-800-DENTIST today, and we'll help you find one.
Introducing Kaboom, the amazing shower tub and tile cleaner that works with no harsh fumes. It's tough on grime, easy on you. Go to kaboomtv.com now.
Closed captioning for Ebert and Roeper is brought to you by...
It's like a...
Yep, new brakes. And now they're only $29.95. Monique, right service, right price.
When we just sold pools, Poolorama was the perfect name. But now that we sell so much more than pools, we either need bigger business cards or we need a new name. We'll say hello to The Great Escape, America's #1 store for family fun at home. And right now, during our great opening sale, save up to 70% on all pools, spas, patio furniture, pool tables, poker tables, bars, bar stools, home theater seats, everything you need to have more fun at home. For the lowest prices and the best selection on pools, spas, patio, and billiards, shop The Great Escape.
Thank God you came. Look, I know you had that thing tonight, but I didn't know what else to do. I mean, cars are whizzing by, and I think my cell's almost dead, and I don't even have it.
Where's the spare?
The spare what?
Now the strength of Secret Platinum is available with Olay conditioners. It's new. Strength with a soft touch. Okay, all set.
Okay. I'll take it from here.
Secret, strong enough for a woman.
There's a power so awesome, so irresistible.